My name is Doug Heaton, and I'm running for the State Senate, District 24, in the Utah State Legislature. These videos are to acquaint you with my political principles. You may notice that I've changed the color of my shirt. It occurred to me that you may see that red shirt I was wearing before and think that all the videos I were the same. So anyway, this is a different video. I'm going to talk about the source of governmental authority. In this video, I will discuss the origins of authority or power by which governments operate. The founding fathers clearly understood the delegation of power required to operate legitimate government, and they even enshrined it in our Declaration of Independence. The words, quote, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, unquote, defines where the authority in men's lives originate. It was from their creator. The word unalienable translates to something like cannot be separated from the person. And the phrase that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, describes the purpose of government and where the government power comes from. Governments are to secure the God-given rights given to the individuals. That's their purpose. And governments derive their just powers by the consent of the governed. So the power that the government possesses comes from the people. Each of those fundamental truths is imperative to understanding governmental authority and the source of power by which governments operate. In a book called The Law, it was written by Frederick Bastiat, a Frenchman who was quite extensively relied upon in our history. He points out that the next critical principle that people cannot delegate more power than they themselves possess. So let's examine this. I can delegate to a sheriff the authority to protect my horses from being stolen because I possess that authority myself. I have the right to protect my property. But I cannot give him power to appropriate some rich neighbor's horse and give it to me because that is beyond the scope of my power or authority. It wouldn't matter how many people I could persuade to join me in my desire to get my rich neighbor's horse. All of us together do not have power to take the neighbor's horse. It belongs to him. And that being the case, we cannot all delegate authority to the sheriff to take that horse because all of us together cannot delegate to the sheriff what we do not have. So then it is a principle that governmental power is an extension of individual powers. For example, we delegate to our police departments authority that we possess to protect our lives and our property. That delegation relieves us in part of the duty to protect ourselves so that we can focus on things incident to our livelihood and our families. But I believe that the sheriff does not have authority to expand that delegation of power beyond what we can do individually. To do so would be a violation and a usurpation. You cannot manufacture authority out of thin air. This principle is an extension also of that same truth we talked about in that all earthly authority in earthly realms originates with the people. That was expressed a few moments ago in the Declaration. Just to remind you that they, the people, are endowed by their creator. By their creator, that's where it comes from, with certain unalienable rights. If those powers and rights are endowed or gifted by government, it naturally follows that governments can take them away. Governments are not the source of the power. They only derive their just powers by consent of the governed. They only have authority that we can actually delegate to them. That being true, it naturally follows that those practices that are immoral or unjust for individuals to engage in are likewise forbidden to government. I believe that citizen delegation of power does not mean that the citizen can no longer exercise those rights. The fact that we delegate or give power to a sheriff to protect us does not negate our power to protect ourselves any more than granting the power of attorney disqualifies you from representing yourself. That is why I support the Second Amendment. So I hope that as I discuss these principles of the source of power, that you'll agree with me that governments are limited in what they can do by the amount or the authority or the power that we have authority to delegate to them to do what we would do for ourselves, but they cannot go beyond that. If they do, then they have jumped the fence, and our liberties and freedoms. Once they cross that line and they begin to exercise powers that we cannot delegate to them, then they become like the king, and that is the beginning of the end of liberty. Thank you for watching. My name is Doug Heaton. I'm running for Senate District 24 in the Utah State Legislature. If you enjoy these videos, I hope that you will click like and share. That way the word gets around. Thank you.